Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Truth Be Told. This is a different type of episode today. Um, this evening, we are here with Bishop Smith from Kingdom Life Ministries. He's also my pastor. And we are here doing a special tribute to Fiona Bramwell, the late Fiona Bramwell. Fiona had passed away this past weekend suddenly, and we as a church, as a family, are grieving our loss. And so I thought it fit for us to have a conversation in regards to her life and in support to her family. Behind, she leaves her husband, Keith Bramwell, and her two daughters, Kiana and Kiona, and also her mother, Myrtle, her two brothers, Andrew and Omar, and her sister, Mar. And a lot of family. Truly, she has a
Yeah.
huge family, and we are here with the family in heart. As I've been with them for the last couple of days, speaking with them and just praying and trusting that God will strengthen them as they go through this time of grieving. And as we were there today with them, we talked about some really good times with Fiona, but we also spoke about the importance of going forward. So I wasn't going to have an episode today. I wasn't going to come on because I really felt that it was important to just also give myself some time to grieve. But then after speaking to them, I thought, you know what? It would be a good opportunity for us to share about Fiona. And also, they have a GoFundMe page going right now that we can also help support the family at this time. Again, because this was completely sudden to her. Bishop, give us
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad, Michelle, that you're doing this because this is important in the grieving process and the healing process. We are devastated right now. The church community is devastated. Her family is devastated with this loss, and only time will be able to heal the wound and the pain that we're experiencing right now. And so, this is a tribute to this wonderful, beautiful woman of God, mother, friend, just somebody who is just such a special jewel to those who are in this church family, people who have left Kingdom Life. She has just impacted everyone's life, and that's who Fiona is. And I'm just so blessed to have known her for over the past 20 years that she has been with us. And we're really praying as a family, as a church, that God will just bless and strengthen. And so, in spite of the difficulties, the challenges that we have had, the hours spent in planning her final arrangements, I'm so glad that we're able to air this episode this evening just to honor Fiona, honor her life, and what she has done for her family and for the church. And we look forward to hearing from others who may want to say something about Fiona as well.
yes. Again, it's amazing because, like as you mentioned, I've gotten calls and text messages from people who don't attend our church, but they have visited or they've encountered her in some way, and definitely can remember her smile, her amazing smile. If you look at the picture, you see that smile, and she always has this laugh. Like if she says something, she always has this laugh,
Yes.
right? So, and it's just amazing of how she has touched so many people.
And Michelle, she's also touched leaders because I've
Yeah.
gotten calls from bishops and pastors inside the GTA and outside of the GTA, even as far as the United States, down into to the Caribbean. People have called and said they've been to Kingdom Life
Yeah.
and they remember her, they know her, and that's a unique quality to have
Yeah.
when somebody can remember you, pick
Yep.
you out of a crowd of 500 people.
Yeah.
There must be something unique about you for them to remember you.
Yeah, and even just in regards to Sunday service, just share a little bit of when you had to let everyone know about what had happened. Share
You know,
that.
I've been pastoring for almost 21 years, and this has been the hardest moment I've had in our church because we have had lots of deaths, but I've never had anything that's so close and so tragic and so traumatic. And I remember sitting down, preparing to do the announcement, and I know that there's some folks who did not know yet. And I'm going through my head as to what are you going to say? And you're going to be strong. You're not going to break down because if
Yeah.
you break, then the entire congregation
It
breaks.
breaks, right?
So I'm going to be strong. And I started announcing it. and I'm losing my voice. And so, the only thing I could do is try to think of a song. Thank God for my wife. She ran up there
Oh yeah.
as a tower of strength and thought of a song. It was hard, really,
Yeah.
really hard. I mean, and it's the hardness of it is not over yet.
Right.
But I do believe that God is giving us the strength, and so many people are praying. And I just want to say to those who are praying for us, from
Yes.
wherever you are, we're really grateful for the many people praying for our strength and for God to keep the family and keep us as we go through.
Exactly. So one of the things I wanted to encourage everyone is that when someone passes, it's a natural feeling to grieve. It's a natural feeling to feel the loss. I was explaining to someone who called me again today about it. They never knew her directly,
Right.
but just in the association of knowing that I'm grieving, they felt my grief, and that's what makes a community. Like the church is a community. Our friendships with our neighbors, that's a community. And so reaching out to your neighbor, to your friends, and to your family who are grieving is an encouragement, and it is a part of the process of healing during your grieving as well.
Because the greatest support we have is each other.
Yes.
I remember clearly on a Saturday night when I got to the home, when the news was just breaking. Brother Keith was just hearing about the loss of his wife. He was traumatized. He couldn't speak, and he was there. And as I was quoted, I just didn't have anything to say. So all I could say was that I'm here. I'm here. Because just the fact that somebody's with you,
Yeah,
even
it's a
if
support.
you can't talk to them, even if you can't express what's in your heart,
Yeah.
that strength and support is really vital. And I encourage everyone that's feeling the grieving process, that's hurting, regardless of how close you are to her, make sure you can connect with somebody,
Yeah.
a friend, a family member. Even if you can't talk about it, just for somebody to hold your hand or just throw their arms around you. It will really help, as you said, the grieving process as we go forward.
Right. And how Fiona's related to me is that my sister is married to her brother,
Okay.
right? And so we are connected with her. She's the auntie of my niece and nephew.
Auntie of my niece. Okay, all right.
Yes,
got
am I
it.
right? I'm right, right? She's the auntie of my niece and
Okay.
my nephew. So we're both the aunties, right? So just to know that even my niece and my nephew has lost their aunt.
Right, right.
And then it caused me to reflect. And here I go.
You gonna cry?
I'm gonna cry.
Don't
but,
cry.
But even to reflect as a mother, to know that.
That these possibilities are there, and this is very emotional. As Michelle said, Fiona was not just a church sister. She was family. Because when Sophia, who is Michelle's sister, who is my sister-in-law, and when Sophia married Omar, who is Fiona's brother,
Yeah.
then that brought the whole family
Family
structure
together. That's
together,
right.
which means then that it's more than just somebody we know
Yeah,
in church. It's
exactly.
really close. And so your niece and your nephew,
Nephew.
that's their aunt. And so
Yeah.
it's real, it hits home really hard. But we know that God will strengthen and keep us even as we mourn this loss. And the beauty of this, I mean, we have to look for nuggets of hope
Exactly.
in the midst of tragedy.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell myself that we are sad, but she's happy.
Yeah.
She's with the Lord. And allow me to share my beautiful analogy
Yes,
of
let's
when
hear
we
it.
leave, when we always leave Jamaica and coming to to Canada,
To Canada.
right? And when you're in Jamaica, the people are crying because you're leaving.
Yes,
They're
yes.
gonna miss you. But when you come to Canada, everybody's happy to see you, and
Yeah.
so there's a party going on over here, and there's sorrow
Sorrow.
going on over there. And so we know there's a party in heaven right now,
Yes.
but we still have to go through the sorrow and the grief here. So it'll be all right, Michelle. Everybody grieves differently.
That's right.
And I don't tear. If you have to cry, you gotta
Yeah,
cry,
yeah.
and that's how it is. I mean, even Pastor, I do my crying, but I'm not gonna do it on screen tonight.
I was trying not to, but
I'm not gonna do it
I've
on
done it
screen.
before. I was going to try
Okay.
to, but
That's
I'm
it for
good.
the night. You've
That's
done
it,
your
that's it.
portion,
I've done
so
my portion.
Let's continue.
So we had some friends and family who sent some words of encouragement or condolences. So I'll read them periodically as we are sharing tonight. And on my Facebook page, you'll also see the link for GoFundMe. So if you get an opportunity, please really support the family. I believe Kiona is going off to university.
Right.
That's where she'll be going. And the younger daughter, which is Kiana, she is just starting high school.
Right.
So again, it's nothing that you plan for. It's nothing that you plan for, but now we need to step in as a community and support. So I have a word of encouragement from Lorna Harper. It says, with regards to Sister Fiona, she knew I loved to shop. So when they had friends and family day at Winners, she would give me a couple. Yeah, so or a
That's
coupon. So that's so great. That's the character of Fiona. She was giving, sharing, always thinking about others, And if she had some kind of little idea of a nugget, here, let me share it with you. So it's really good to hear from Lorna sharing that as well.
because she's unique to everybody. I think you said earlier about her laugh, her unique laugh that would light up the room, and but there's something I always remember about Fiona is her hugs.
Yeah.
She don't hug like everybody. Some people hug you and give you a little pat, or
Yeah.
a token hug.
Yeah.
She had a real hug
Hug.
for you, and you felt like you were hugged. Like
Yeah.
it's almost as if there was a transference of love in a hug, even there's no words.
That's
And
the
that is why it's
powerful
so important
Yeah.
that we learn how to give of ourselves and embrace each other with true embrace,
True.
because long after we are gone, people are going to remember who we truly are.
Yeah.
And for those who know her, long after we don't see her in the physical sense, we're going to remember the hugs, we're going to
Yeah.
remember the laugh, we're going to remember
Yeah.
the smile.
Yeah.
I was saying to somebody, Michelle, that I don't know if Fiona know what my office looks like.
Yeah.
Because most people come to my office comes because they're in trouble like you, right?
Me? Never. Let's make sure we strike that off of the program.
I'm joking.
Never.
But most people that comes to pastor's office is because they're complaining about something,
Yeah.
they have a problem. I can't remember Fiona ever coming in with an issue, with a problem.
Yeah.
And so that's just the kind of person that she was. And we love her, love her. And and I want Brother Keith and
Yeah.
Kiona and oh Lord, I
Kiana,
always get
Kiana,
Kiana
Kiona
and
and
Kiona
Kiana.
to know that, they have, we had treasure. Their
Yeah.
mother was a treasure, and she's gonna live in their hearts, but she's also living in our hearts. And even as we give this tribute today, we know that they will know that not only us who are sitting around this table, but everyone who is joining us on Facebook Live and all the friends and family share their grief, share their pain, and we are there for them. We are going to be there for them.
Exactly.
And that's why the
Yeah.
GoFundMe is good, because
Yeah.
we want to know that we're not just supporting them by saying, I pray for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, all they can do is pray for us, right? And that's great, that's wonderful. But faith without works is dead.
That's
and
right.
so, as Michelle said, I also encourage everyone that's listening to us to share the GoFundMe page. Go on, contribute, whatever you can. It's not by the amount you give,
Yeah.
but it's the heart with
Heart.
which you give it.
Yeah.
I believe it will be a blessing to the family.
Yeah, exactly. And here we have a comment from Daniel Cullen, who is a former member.
Yeah.
And he says that she was always, she has always had a kind word for me.
Wow.
That was from Brother Daniel.
Go,
which
Brother
is so
Dan.
true. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And these are things that I've received, not even online. This is, people sharing their thoughts and feelings of Fiona. It's the essence of her personality. The true essence of a person is how they are, how they relate to you, and how they make you feel.
Do you ever wonder what people say after you're gone?
Oh, Lord.
And
I do wonder. Honestly, I do wonder. I think about it. I think to myself, I would want to hear what you think about me now. Because when I pass, I'm not going to hear it.
So that's why it's important, because if I'm a mean person now, tell me so I can change before I die, right? Because I want to be better, and I believe all of us want to be better. And I'm praying that folks have told her they love her. I'm
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
that we did tell her that we love her, and that she did hear some of the kind words, because she truly was a gem. And it's hard to think about coming to church on a Sunday and not having her here. I was talking to Candice since she passed, and Candice was telling me that she loved, she used to love knock the tambourine.
Yes.
And Candice was saying, she'd been knocking the tambourine and she'd hand it over to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, so who's going to hand over the tambourine to me
her,
now? And
yes,
so
yes.
maybe somebody will be looking to get a tambourine, and all of a sudden you realize that, oh, she's not there.
Not there.
And the grief will come back again.
Yes.
And so that's the kind of loss that we're
Yeah.
all going to experience in every area.
Yeah. And we need to harness those feelings, or not so much the feelings, but the memories harness those memories. I think Sister Oliva is also on that side, and I think she knocks
Yes.
the tambourine as well. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm knocking this for Sister Fiona.
Yes.
I'm doing
Yes.
this for Sister
Yes.
Fiona. So we look at it, we grieve, but we also embrace it and say, okay, this is what they left with me. What they left with us is a memory that we can carry on.
Now, did you know that she was a powerful prayer woman?
I didn't know that. Did you
Oh.
know she liked the color white? Okay, go ahead. You talk about the prayer
I'll tell you
woman.
about the prayer woman because she was on our prayer team. There's a group of women that prays for me.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
And that I won't call the other names because I don't remember them all.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
there's some powerful prayer woman that
Yes.
goes around. And if you come to Kingdom Life, you'll see at a certain point when praise and worship is almost on, a group
And
of
then
women
they just
go
sneak out.
sneak out.
Okay,
And
yes, I
Fiona
see
will
them.
sneaking out.
Yeah.
But she was one of those prayer women that
Good.
would hold up her pastor in prayer.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that prayer team, when they go around there to pray, the next time they gather to pray, somebody's going to be missing from that. But I also believe her spirit will be
Was
right
right
there.
there. Exactly.
So I did not know she loved white.
yeah, I learned
Is that
this
why
and
you're
that.
wearing white?
That's why I wore white today, to represent her. You're almost like there's
I have a little bit of white,
spots in
so
there,
I'm
but
okay.
she loves white. So if you didn't know that, I'm letting you know that Fiona's favorite color is
But I
white.
thought all you women don't like white.
Why?
I don't know.
I actually
When
I love
when
white.
we tell you to wear, when we have communion, some people still don't want to wear white.
Okay, that's true, but I'm just saying I like I do love white.
Sure.
But communion is all right. You can wear
Okay,
white.
they do white for communion.
Yes, yes. We do have a comment. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
So Jesse Sutton says, blessings, Bishop Smith, heaven continue to smile on your life. Doreen Dixon says, my prayers are with you and the family. Yusina Golding says, her favorite memory of Fiona is when she was living close to them. Brother Keith would at times give the boys a haircut.
Oh yes.
And she always said, not a problem, you can always come. She always made me feel welcome when I came to her home, showing me around and making sure that I had something to eat, as well as tried to create a relationship between me and her girls. Her laugh was infectious and she's always
Oh,
smiling.
yes.
She always had a positive energy about her. We also have Cassie Hall Graham said, my condolences to the Kingdom Life family. I did not know her personally, but I feel your pain as a sister in the body of Christ.
You know, I heard that comment about Brother Keith, and
Yeah.
we know he's a barber,
Yeah.
very good one as that. But we can only imagine, what he goes through. I mean, I'm not just
Yeah.
imagining; I see what he's going
gone
through as
through.
well.
Yeah.
But I want Brother Keith to know that, and you can all tell Brother Keith that he's just special. He was
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
beyond
Oh my
reservation.
gosh, yeah.
Fiona loved Keith.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see them sing
Together? Oh my goodness. Yeah.
she loved
Yeah.
Keith, and
Yeah.
and it's so wonderful when you can experience. He didn't get enough.
Yeah.
Not enough years of that
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
But I think it was 21 years married or almost somewhere around
Yeah,
that
about
category.
21 years, yeah.
But he didn't get enough of that love. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what he got in those years, some
Mm-hmm.
people married for longer don't get that love. Because she was a loving
Yeah.
woman of
Oh, and
God.
she loved taking pictures with him. Oh my goodness! You ever go to her Facebook page? It's her and Keith and her kids, like her daughters. She just loved her family very much.
And something
Very
popped into my
involved.
head, Michelle. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just think about the fact that she was at the beach because she loved living.
Yeah,
She loved
love
to
live.
live and to
Yeah.
enjoy her life,
Yeah.
and that's why she would go to the beach. That's
Yeah.
why she goes out.
Yeah.
Some
And
of
she
us
travels.
are in our homes and don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But she enjoyed her life.
She enjoyed it.
And she loved to dress. And
Oh
I mean,
yeah, get
I
her hair
mean-
done and everything.
I mean, I remember the banquet we had in February.
Yeah.
And she was all dolled out in that
Yeah.
beautiful dress. You see that picture? Yeah, she
Yeah.
made me look good in that picture.
Yeah. Somebody needs to make you look good.
You know what? We could close this broadcast right
No. We do have another comment from Simone Richards, which is her cousin. She goes, "Oh, Michelle, where do I begin? Fiona was my closest cousin. We talked about everything. She was the crowd comedian." I didn't know she was a comedian.
I did not know that.
Oh my goodness. So she was a comedian.
Oh, I did not
Always
know that.
smiling, of course smiling, and always there to give you that tight hug
Yes.
that I will miss so much. We are always looking at each other's body to see if we can find a pimple to pop. Oh my
Oh, don't
goodness.
like that.
I always have to say to her, "Why do you talk so loud? Are you deaf?" So she was so humble, kind, genuine, caring, and always ready to go on a road trip. Doesn't matter the
Yeah,
distance.
see?
When we were in high school, she will never leave me behind to go home, always waiting on me, even so she have to join the netball. Oh, so she joined the team so that she can wait for her with me just to make sure we leave school tomorrow or together. We used to sometimes dress alike or wear each other's clothes. She was my everything. They call us as the Jamaican saying goes, two peas in a pod. That's so
Wow.
nice.
Can you imagine how hard it must be for Simone to move forward?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
have that kind of history together.
Yeah.
And moving beyond grief is really, really hard, right?
Yeah.
And so for Simone, I mean, she's going to have to treasure those memories. But, I would say to Simone that, she will live on in her heart. It will be hard, but she can move on with proper support. And
Yeah.
we'll be praying for all those that have these memories that are that are great, but they're being painful now because she's no longer there to share the
Yeah.
joys that they have. And
Yeah.
moving on in life is going to be really hard for
It's
us.
gonna be hard.
So Michelle, how do we move on from tragedies like this, though? Like, I don't know.
The one thing I do know is talking about your hurt. It's talking about your feelings. Holding it in is not a good thing to do. You have to share your feelings. Don't isolate. No
Right.
isolation. It seems like the easiest thing to do is to retreat and to just not communicate with other people. But the more you talk about it, it's the more you release your body from that feeling of loss.
That is powerful because we have and I know you're aware of it. There's 6 young girls that were there, right?
Right.
That were witnesses to this
this.
tragedy.
Yeah.
And these 6 young girls are going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
Actually, we're trying to get group therapy counseling for them.
Good.
And you know what that
That's
means?
right.
They're going to have to talk about
They
it.
have
Just
to.
exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And that's what it popped back into my mind
Yeah.
because one of our counselors are getting ready. I think they have a session starting today to begin that process because having to witness something like that and to
Yeah.
I just cannot imagine going out together and then coming back
Back.
home and somebody's
Without-
not with you.
Yeah.
And for somebody that's a teenager to have to
Yeah,
deal
to
with
deal
that
with that
trauma and
emotion.
that tragedy and all those emotions that are in there must be really difficult. And so in our prayers, not only are we praying for the Bramwell family, but there are some young girls that were
Yeah.
on the trip that they're not Bramwells by name. They may be related, but we need to pray for everyone that were connected to the death,
yeah.
right? So there's another young girl who apparently took in some water as well.
And they had to take her to the hospital.
Right. So
Yes.
again,
Yeah.
she needs our prayers. She's
Yeah.
one of the 6 I was talking about. And so I'm asking our church community, our friends, and all those who are prayer warriors and who are on prayer teams and who are on prayer lines and everything, don't cease because men are always to pray
Right.
and not to faint. We have got to pray without
right.
ceasing. And so in this particular time, let us pray for the family and for those who are affected. Let's talk about it. Let's be able to share our sorrow and our pain and what we're going through. Really, really
Exactly.
important.
Yes, I believe we have another comment from Facebook.
Yep. So Lamar Edwards says, I never saw her not smile. Clearwood says, our prayers are with the family that God will give them strength at this difficult time. Odette McDonald says, condolences to the entire family and friends and the church ministry. In all things, God is possible. African Bishop Anthony Frampton says, we are praying for the Bramwell and the Kingdom Life family. May God continue to strengthen the entire family. Patricia Johnson Doe says, our condolences to Kingdom Life family and her immediate family. Our prayers are with you at this time. God will give you peace in the midst of storms. Chantel Ellison says, I got the news early Sunday morning and my heart dropped. Sister
remember
Fiona
Chantel.
was such a nice young lady. She always had a beautiful smile, and she was one of the first to greet me and made me feel welcomed when I moved to Toronto. I admired how she coordinated her daughters and her husband. The tragic passing is a reminder of how we should always love and be kind to everyone. Love like Jesus loved. I am continuing to keep the family lifted in prayer. Sister Jolette says, my memory with Fiona is she always made sure to give Jamario a kiss every Sunday before leaving church.
No, Michelle, that big comment from Chantel just really touched me, because I remember Chantel coming from Ottawa and spending a few years when she moved, and then she got married and she moved to the States, and she can actually remember those things. So that's really, really powerful, and that is why we really got to celebrate our loved ones.
My gosh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm at a place in my life where I refuse to not talk to anybody, or even if, I mean, I'll upset people. I know I upset people. I mean, I upset Michelle once. She upset me more. But if I upset you today, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Even if you don't want to talk back to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be mad. I talk to the wall. I talk to my car. I tell my car, you know, how much I don't like you.
Yeah.
And then the next minute, because we got to express love. We don't want to live with regrets. You know, and so we need really, I think it's really important that those who are listening to us understand how important it is to tell our loved ones how much we love them, appreciate them often, and make sure we spend time in bond and fellowship. I don't think Fiona had time to she was loving everybody.
Yeah, and celebrating their lives on a regular basis. Like every day is a day to be. The Bible says every day is a day of thanksgiving. We have to appreciate every breath that we breathe, and we have to appreciate every family member, every friend that we have, and celebrate them. I hear people say it all the time. Don't give me the roses when I'm dead. Give it to me while I'm alive. That's a true statement. How am I going to know that you gave me the roses when I'm dead?
It's so true.
We need to celebrate each other's lives each day.
She was so young, only 43 years old, and sometimes we think we have a whole lot of time. She never made it to retirement. And so, you know, many of us think that, oh, when we retire, we'll do this, we'll do that. You know, we may never get to retirement. That's why, you know, I've made up in my mind, I'm spending some of my money now, and I'm enjoying life now. Just recently, my wife and I don't think you know this, but I'll share something here with you. Recently, we decided that we're going to start having date nights every other week.
Oh, good.
And so every other week we have our same lovely restaurant that we go to. They come, what are you celebrating? Us.
Yeah.
You know, you know, and because it's really important, because we can get so caught up in life. You know, and caught up doing things, and so busy that we don't spend time together. And so we need to look into our lives and find time to enjoy life, celebrate our loved ones, you know, and enjoy what God has given to us, and not just plan for when we're 80, because we may not get to even 70, moreover 80.
I believe her birthday was coming up September 10th.
And that should have been, what, 44, I think?
44,
43, man. You just passed it, but you know, I passed it a long time ago.
Yes, I just passed
you
it.
like that, don't you?
I'm still very young. So here we have another comment. This is also her cousin. This is from Felicia Rochester. Fiona was the gem of a daughter, sister, mother, wife, friend, and an awesome cousin you will be amazed to know or have known. She will give you a fun time with her company. That energetic laughter coming from her will make you laugh too. She was a family person, a people person, and never ever hold grudges, envy, nor want to vex with anyone. Okay, I got
want to vex.
Vex, yes,
you know.
yes. I'm not
You
Jamaican,
don't understand that, but I understand it.
You understand. Yeah. She was and will forever be a part of us, no matter what the situation is. If there is a stairway to heaven, we would beg to have her back to let her know we weren't ready for her to go. But who are we to question God's work? Because he was short of an angel around his throne. My beautiful cousin, you are and will forever be a special person that we were happy to be a part of.
And if I can just encourage Felicia, just celebrate what she gave you. You know, it would be so great. Sometimes, even as pastor, you get people asking you why.
Yes.
You know, why?
Why?
And I don't understand this, but you know, I've always heard that, you know, when you go to your rose garden, you never choose the worst one that's dying and wilted. You always choose the best one.
Best one, that's true. Yeah.
And so why do we expect God to come and pick the worst one? He's going to pick the best. I mean, that's what we say to console us. But she was truly indeed one of God's best. And I cannot even begin to imagine what her final service would be like. I was just sharing. We're talking a little while ago, and I'm like, I don't even know if I can preach a service like
Yeah,
that.
it's
You
gonna
know,
be hard.
it's going to be really hard, and so we really need to start to send up the prayers ahead of time, because it's going to be a very difficult time for the church community, for the immediate family, and for the friends. And we are praying that, God will just give Keith, Fiona, Kiana, Miss
Yeah.
Myrtle, Andrew, Omar,
And
Jackie,
Mar.
Mar,
Yeah.
and all the extended one
Everybody.
that were there, the
Everybody.
strength on that day, because
Yeah.
they're going to need the strength. And,
Yeah.
this tribute, is very minuscule,
Yeah.
in terms of honoring and remembering who she was. But as you know, the newspapers are just
Yeah.
taking it. It's going
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
and it's got to be because somebody unique. I think also that the newspapers realize how special
How
she was
special,
to,
yeah,
based on what
yeah,
I'm reading,
yeah,
right? They
yeah.
realize how special she was to the church community and to her family.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was really surprised to see the articles and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, you prime minister, celebrities and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
But
yeah.
she's our celebrity. She's our special person, and I am proud that they have covered this because she is just an amazing person as well.
Today when the Mississauga News called me and I was on interview with them, the young man, I almost wondered, okay, it seems almost like he knows her,
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the way he was talking. And again, it's just, I think they reviewed some of her services and, hear the other newscasts. But it's just that, we have a celebrity in heaven.
That's
and I
right.
thank God for
She's a
her
superstar.
life. And she has done us good. We
Yeah,
made, I
yeah.
mean, in Romans 8:28, and we know all things work together for
Together for
good,
good.
to them that love the Lord, to them that who are the called according to His purpose. The trouble is sometimes we don't see the good, but I believe somehow God is going to allow this to bless somebody.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know somebody's going to be saved through this.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be encouraged through this. Lives are going to be changed through this,
Yeah.
because she lived her life.
Yeah.
I was on her Facebook page, and I think it was a beach event or something, and she was videoing everybody, and they were singing gospel songs and everything. I could hear her encouraging, not going to mention who it is, but one of her family members to get up, dance, because that's who Fiona is. Was she is wherever she is, church is there.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know her favorite song?
No.
If anyone knows her favorite song, I'm asking Facebook Live,
No.
please send me what her favorite song is, because I want to know her favorite
I
song.
don't
What do
know
you
it.
think her favorite song is?
And I don't know her favorite scripture either.
No.
But I know her favorite color.
White. Okay, we're going to take a comment from Facebook.
Sonia Irish said she didn't retire, but she did enjoy the 43 years that God granted her. O'Dane McCormack said nothing but lots of good memories. However, the last time she was at church, we stood up talking, and she asked me how I'd been doing through the quarantine season, if I had finished school, and what will be my next move. I told her I was applying to jobs, and she just wished me good luck moving forward and told me to never give up.
Wow.
Michelle Ellis says, my condolences to you and the family.
Michelle is
Thank
from
you.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. So all the way from Bridgeport.
Bridgeport,
Wow.
Connecticut, yeah.
Good. Camilla Levers wrote in and said she will be forever remembered for her beauty, smile, and her love for her family. She always had a kind word to share. And Shayna Janor says, our birthdays are a single day apart. Every September, we would make it a point to discuss our birthday plans and reinforce the fact that our month was the greatest. It was our running joke for years that September 9th and 10th were the best days in the year. I'm going to miss my September sister. And that's from Shayna Janor.
Well, I was married in September, so.
So was I. So was my mother. And I'm sure there's a lot of people married or born in September. But she's definitely, we're going to definitely remember her.
Yeah,
for
this
all
one
that
is
she's
really
done.
hard, Michelle. This is really hard. But we know that God is able. A good friend of mine, I got up early, a couple of mornings. I'm getting up early and, go downstairs. And a good friend of mine, when I opened my WhatsApp, there's a prayer that's there. He was up from 5 o'clock praying for the family. And he was saying he's praying for Brother Keith. And, I just said, man, he didn't know them, right?
Yeah.
and just the powerful prayer that people pray. And I believe it has to be the way that somebody lived and how they connected with God.
Yes.
And I mean, I think that everyone who has seen even the picture, I looked at the picture and I'm like, why is it the picture is speaking? And you look at that picture and you're reading so many great things out of that picture, and it's us for us, friends, brothers, sisters, whoever we are, that we allow our life to speak to others even after we are gone. And I believe that her life is speaking even after she's gone.
Yeah.
And we are just blessed to have known such a treasure and such a precious gem that God has loaned us. Sister Sonia said she enjoyed her life for 43 years, but it was not enough, I mean, in my opinion, 43, I enjoy my life, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
But God knows best.
God knows best,
And
yeah.
so in all of this, I will not question God, because I believe that she's rejoicing in heaven right now. And I want to thank everyone, just about everyone, who has been praying for the family and supporting the family. And I really know that God is going to bless you and bless us through all of this, Michelle.
Yes. Our last comment that was sent in is from Alette Brown, and hers is well expressed. So she wrote, Sister Fiona had a beautiful and pleasant smile. She always greeted me with a big smile, showing those pearly white teeth of hers. My fondest memory is two things. First of all, her nephew is my godson, and when he was a baby, we used to fight over him, of who was going to hold him in church. And if she comes to church and sees me, she's gonna get an usher to send and take him from her. And when her husband Keith was an usher at K-Life, she would tell me, don't send him the schedule because he would lose it and won't remember what colors are to be worn. So just email it to her because she organizes his stuff, and such a great woman of God. I didn't know that back then in July, just last month of July 2020, that was my last conversation, would have been with her when her husband Keith said something to me. And I turned and looked at her, and she said to me, just ignore him. And then she just laughed it off. A great woman of God, going to be greatly missed, and such a worshiper and a prayer warrior. I will remember her in my prayer group. With her, and such a prayer warrior. Rest in peace, my dearest sister. Rest in the arms of your Savior.
Beautiful, just beautiful. Do you remember your last conversation, Michelle?
The last conversation, I think we were teasing about my height for some reason.
Yeah,
I was just
sure.
standing beside her, and I was remembering, just don't think you're that tall.
She is taller than you.
Yeah, but I was just feeling short that day. I had flats on, and I remembered just talking to her about my
height. You say short,
height.
and Pastor Krista comes into mind. All have sinned and come short.
Short of the Lord.
I'm just trying to make it a little bit lighter so you don't cry.
I am not sure, but that was my last conversation.
I spoke to her the week before she died, the Sunday before.
Right.
And I remember I was outside actually when we made the call to her. Her mom, Miss Myrtle, was in the car, and Keith, and I had to call her to get some information from her, never knowing that would be my last conversation.
Yeah.
And when I said, okay, thank you, I got it, goodbye, Sister Fiona, never knew that that would be my final goodbye. And it breaks my heart, and I know it breaks everybody's heart as we think about the last conversation that we had with her.
Yeah.
And I thank God for the beauty of her life that I've experienced.
Yeah. And you know what's a good thing as well? She was able to see her mom get baptized.
Oh yes, Michelle. That was probably 3 weeks ago, and Sister Myrtle was baptized. And I know that was also one of her dreams that she would see her mother get baptized, and that was a beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to just encourage Sister Myrtle.
Yeah,
That
keep her in
your
prayers.
beautiful daughter is gone, but she left something for you. And carry on her worship, Sister Myrtle. Because she'll be in heaven cheering on for you.
Yeah. I think we have another comments from Facebook.
Samantha Reed says, I've only been at K-Life a short time, and I didn't know her personally, but every time she saw myself or my husband and kids, she would greet us and give us a beautiful smile. We were so shocked to hear of her passing, and we grieve with the family and our church family. I pray that God will give her husband, children, and the rest of her family strength during this difficult time. Loretta McEwen says, my condolences to the family and church family of Kingdom Life. Corinne Myers says, Fiona is just love personified. She is just a humble, lovable, approachable, openly friendly, and she was just a breath of fresh air and a ray of sunshine. I'm so happy to call her friend.
Thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
I guess we're going to be wrapping up
Yeah,
this
we're
soon.
going to wrap this up now, but we just want to thank everyone for chiming in. And again, if you can go to the GoFundMe that's on my page there. If you don't feel comfortable using the GoFundMe, then you can also go to the Kingdom Life Ministries website. So that's, is it Kingdom
Yeah,
Life or is it
klife.ca,
klife.ca?
and go to
And you can go
online
to
giving.
online giving and just put in your comments, Bramwell family.
Or you could do an e-transfer as well to donations at klife.ca and do Bramwell family, and that will be passed on to them.
Yes.
And we don't have just to let, we don't know the date of the final services as yet.
Yeah.
Because there are people that will be traveling. So as soon as we have that, we share it. But
Yes.
there's a couple difficult weeks are going to be ahead.
Yes.
And so we're just asking that you continue to support everyone during the weeks ahead until we get to the final, when we put her to rest. And even after that, please, in the months and after that, please
Yeah,
continue to pray for us.
continue.
And I thank you, Michelle. You know,
Yeah.
I'm thank you for allowing this
Yeah.
session. I did not know I would be on with you
Yeah,
this evening.
I know.
It came
Yeah,
on
it
at
just-
last minute, but I thank you,
yeah.
and I really so appreciate
Yeah.
just being here with you on this program.
Yeah.
And heaven continue to bless you as you continue to do what you're doing. I mean, this is truth be told.
Yeah.
And if the truth be told, it's been appointed unto man once to die, and after death comes the judgment. So let us live our lives so that we'll be worthy of death.
Yes. Thank you all for watching Truth Be Told, and may God bless you. Thank you, and have a good evening.